Elijah opened his eyes under a bright white light, and he had no idea how he had gotten there. His mother was crying beside the hospital bed, a machine was beeping, and the back of his head throbbed. The last thing this Roblox player remembered was standing in the schoolyard, laughing with two of his friends. Between that laugh and this hospital bed, 20 whole minutes of his life were simply gone. This is the story of what happened in those 20 minutes, and who put him in that bed. Elijah was 13, and Cole and Aaron had been his two best friends since the second grade. The three of them did everything together, walked to school together, and shared one long lunch table. They were the kind of friends who finished each other's jokes and knew each other's whole families. He would have done anything for those two, and he never once imagined they could ever hurt him. That spring, a new video started going around their school, passed between phones under every desk. In it, 3 kids lined up and all shouted that they were going to jump on the count of 3. It looked like a harmless prank, a silly little trick, the kind of thing you laugh at and scroll past. The videos always ended with everyone laughing, the person on the ground grinning and getting back up. What those videos never showed was the ones who did not get back up, because that footage got deleted. Cole and Aaron thought it was hilarious, and for a week they talked about trying it themselves. Elijah laughed along, never guessing that in their version of the joke, he would be the one in the middle. Nothing about that Thursday felt any different from the 1,000 ordinary days that had come before it. It happened after the final bell, in the corner of the yard where kids always hung out. Cole pulled out his phone and said they should finally film the jump, and everyone crowded around. They needed 3 people, and Aaron grabbed Elijah's shoulder and pulled him into the middle spot. Elijah did not really want to, but the camera was on, and his 2 best friends were grinning at him. So he stood between them and Cole started the count, and Elijah got ready to jump on 3. He remembers Cole's grin as the count began, and he has thought about that grin ever since. He had no reason on earth to think his friends were about to do anything other than jump 2. Cole said 1, and Aaron said 2, and all 3 of them bent their knees to leap into the air. Elijah jumped as high as he could, exactly the way the count had told him to. But Cole and Aaron never left the ground, and instead they kicked his legs out from under him. There was no time to catch himself, no time to turn, no time to do anything at all. He came down backward, and the back of his head hit the concrete, and everything went white. That white flash is the last thing Elijah remembers. The moment his 20 missing minutes began. For a second, Cole and Aaron laughed, because in the videos this was supposed to be the funny part. Then Elijah did not move, and he did not laugh, and he did not get up grinning like the others had. His eyes were open, but they were not focused, and a strange, awful stillness settled over the whole yard. The laughing stopped all at once, the way it does when a joke turns into something nobody can undo. A girl who had been filming dropped her phone and started screaming for a teacher across the yard. Then Elijah's body began to shake, a seizure rippling through him while his friends stood frozen in horror. The whole yard had gone from laughter to screaming in under 5 seconds, and nobody was ready for it. A teacher sprinted over, dropped to her knees, and told everyone to back up and call for help. Cole was crying now, saying over and over that it was just a prank, that it was just a joke. But the ambulance that pulled up to the school did not care at all what they had meant by it. And that is how Elijah ended up under those bright lights, with no memory of any of it. The doctors told his mother that he had a serious concussion and had bled a little inside his skull. For the first day, nobody could tell her whether her son's memory and balance would fully come back. His mother had come straight from work, still in her uniform, and she never once left his side. Elijah could not walk a straight line. Bright light hurt his eyes, and simple words kept slipping away. He kept asking the same questions in a loop, because his brain could not hold on to new answers yet. For a while, the boy who used to beat everyone at Roblox could not remember how to spell his own street. Every test they ran was another long wait, and every wait was another chance for the worst news. Slowly, over days, the fog began to lift. The questions stopped repeating, and the words came back. But some things did not come back quickly, and headaches followed him around for months afterward. He could not look at a screen for long, which meant no games, no phone, and no normal life for a while. He fell behind in school, not because he was not trying, but because his brain got tired after minutes. Loud rooms overwhelmed him, and he left his own birthday early because the noise made his head pound. Cole and Aaron came to the hospital once, and they stood in the doorway unable to look at him. Elijah did not know what to say to the two people he had trusted more than almost anyone. The friend group he had belonged to his whole life quietly dissolved while he was stuck at home healing. What happened next surprised everyone, including the two boys who had kicked his legs out, because in the eyes of the law, what they had done was not a prank at all. It was an assault. The police got involved, both of them were charged, and their families sat in very serious meetings. A joke that took 2 seconds to film ended up on a record that could follow them for years. Somebody's phone had kept filming the whole time, and that video mattered more than anyone had expected. The videos make it look like everyone bounces back up, because the ones who do not are edited out. Elijah was the edited out ending, the version of the clip that the internet almost never gets to see. Here is the truth about that harmless little prank that the funny videos are very careful to hide. It has a name, the Skullbreaker Challenge, and it is a person being dropped onto the ground head first. Doctors have treated kids with concussions, fractured skulls, and broken necks from this exact jump. A neck fracture from a fall like that can mean paralysis, and a bleed in the brain can mean death. A 13-year-old boy in New Jersey had a seizure just like Elijah did, from the very same prank. And a 16-year-old girl in Brazil did this challenge once, and she never woke up again. Every doctor who sees it says the same thing, that even a concussion can cause problems for years. So if anyone ever lines you up and says you are all jumping on the count of 3, do not jump. And if you are on the outside of that line being asked to kick, you are not being asked to prank someone. You are being asked to slam your friend's head into the ground, and you can say no and walk away. The strongest person in that yard was never Cole and never Aaron, and it was not even Elijah. It was the girl who dropped her phone and ran for a teacher instead of standing there and filming. Elijah is mostly okay today, but he still gets headaches, and he says he lost more than 20 minutes. He lost the 2 oldest friends he ever had over a joke that was never actually funny to begin with. If this made you think about a prank you have seen going around, send it to the person who needs it. And if this story got to you, hit that like button and subscribe because it really helps these reach further.